So I'm going to call the meeting of the December 19th, 2024 TRPA Hearings Officer to order. It is 2 p.m. My name is Marcia Birch, and I'll be serving as the Hearings Officer today. I want to let everyone know we're having some computer issues. There's the possibility that the meeting might stop momentarily, but we should be able to bring it back online. We just have to be a little bit patient. Second item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Have there been any changes? I think all of these items are Julie roles. Julie, any changes to the agenda?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and approve the agenda as it was posted. And now I'll open the meeting for public interest comments for no action. Any member of the public who wishes to address the hearings officer on any item that is not listed as a public hearing item on the agenda may do so at this time. Public comments on any public hearing item will be taken at the time those agenda items are heard. The hearings officer is prohibited by law from taking immediate action on or discussing issues raised by the public that are not listed on the agenda. Jessica, do we have any public interest comments in the room?
There are no members of the public in the room.
All right, thank you. Then we'll go online and see if there are any members of the public who would like to make a comment.
All right, any members of the public online who wish to address the hearings officer, please raise your hand now by pressing on the raise hand button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There are no hands raised to comment.
All right, thank you. I will close the public interest comments. Item number 4, announcement of appeal rights. Any decision of the hearings officer is appealable to the TRPA governing board. The notice of appeal, which can be found on TRPA's website, and associated fees must be filed within 21 days of the hearings officer's decision. All right, and now we will go to item 5, which are our public hearing items. And we'll start with item 5A, G&T Properties LLC Land Capability Challenge, 303 Dorla Court, Douglas County, Nevada. Assessor's parcel number 1318-22-001-004. TRPA file number LCAP 2024-0013. And Julie Roll.
Yes, hi, this is Julie Roll, Senior Planner at TRPA. So for this first land capability challenge, it was reviewed by the TRPA consultant, Marshall Munike. And based on her evaluation of the site, TRPA is recommending to change the land capability from class 3 and 7 to all class 6. And we can have Marshall kind of fill us in on some more of the details about what she found on the site. And I'll just let you know before she does that, we have not received any public comment on this so far.
All right, thank you.
Hi, this is Marshall Munike. Yeah, this is a site over by Round Hill, Nevada, on west side of Highway 50. And it's on like gentle sloping outwash, sandy material. It was originally mapped as EFB and JEB. EFB is an Elmira Gepo complex, very common deep sand without much development. The Jabu soils are also deep sand, but have a fragipan that is root restricted and can perch water. There were 3 soil pits done here and 1 geotech report, and they didn't see the fragipan characteristics, but it didn't meet the Elmira soil either because it had a weak argillic horizon, a little bit of more clay development than the Elmira soils. So that became XXX soil, and based on slopes, the low slopes of class 6. There was 1 soil pit that was done by the house that you can see on the screen on the left, and that was kind of like the Elmira soil, but it was the upper 2 feet had been cut off, so you couldn't really call it the same soil. So again, it went to XXX. So there is 1 area that it was mentioned in the report where there's a culvert and a drainage ditch that goes across the site. Was determined not to be SEZ naturally, but should be taken into account with any future building that currently exists as like a a drainage way and sediment pond across the parcel. Not on the parcel, but it goes across in a culvert. And that's it, if anyone has questions.
Thank you, Marshall. So, Julie, is there anyone here from the applicant who would like to say anything?
Anything else?
Jackson Riallo,
Trying to think of.
if you unmute yourself, you can go
Yeah.
ahead and contribute.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Fantastic, thank you. This is Jackson Riallo. I work with Excellent Company and I'm representing the property owner here in this land capability challenge. I don't have anything else to contribute other than what Marshall and Julie, in addition to the staff report, have outlined, but I just wanted to kind of let you know that I'm here and available to field any questions should there be any.
Thank you. All right, so Jessica, is there still no one in the room?
Correct, it's just us.
Okay, so let's go ahead and go online and see if there are any public comments on this item 5A.
Okay, if any member of the public wishes to comment on this item, please raise your hand now and you will be unmuted to comment. There are no hands raised to comment.
All right, thank you. So I will close the public comment for this item. And I don't have any additional questions. I think Marshall did a very good job describing everything, and the staff report was thorough. So I will go ahead and take action on this item and approve the land capability. Hold on, I'm going to get the language here. I'm going to approve the land capability challenge as it was set forth in the staff report. All right, so we can move on to item 5B. This is the Brahms Land Capability Challenge 1553 Mixed Tech Street, El Dorado County, California, assessor's parcel number 034691014, TRPA file number LCAP 2024-0102. And Julie, take it away.
Yes, this is Julie Roll again, and this project was also reviewed by Marshall, so we'll let her weigh in a moment here. So this one was originally evaluated by El Dorado County staff under a site assessment, and they determined it to be all Class 1B, which is stream environment zone, and that was just based on the original mapping. But based on Marshall's evaluation, TRPA is recommending that we change it from Class 1B to Class 6, mostly with just a sliver of Class 1B. I have not received any public comments on this. I did speak with the applicant who was unable to attend the meeting. So, you know, I went over the recommendations and the staff report with him, and they were in agreement with the results and pleased with the results. So I guess we'll let Marshall fill us in.
All right. Thank you.
Hello, Marcella here again. Yeah, so this soil, this parcel was actually mapped as Jabu, again, the JEB soil, which is supposed to be with the Fragipan and possibly perched water table, or at least reduced drainage due to the Fragipan. And this does have lodgepole forest on it, but in the understory, it's mostly grasses and has like white fir and some Jeffrey pine mixed in for vegetation. And we saw redox features around 49 inches below the surface. And to be a secondary SEZ indicator, you need to be at 40 inches or above or 20 inches or above. And we didn't have that to indicate SEZ. So there wasn't any soils, and there's not really the vegetation either to indicate SEZ for the majority of the parcel. In the back part of the parcel to the north is a small drainage, like a shallow swale with a very intermittent stream that you can actually see has flow occasionally. And that area was identified as SEZ with, I believe it was a 15-foot setback. So, and then, sorry, the 1B originally came from the fact it was mapped by Bailey's as SEZ, but the soil map always had it as Class 5. Just wanted to clarify that.
Oh,
I'm gonna mute for this dog.
Thank you, Marshall. All right, so Julie, you spoke with the applicant who didn't have any questions or concerns about the staff report. So we'll go ahead and open this for public comment.
Okay, if any member of the public wishes to comment on this item, please raise your hand now by clicking on the raised hand button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There are no hands raised to comment on this item.
Thank you, Jessica. I will close public comment for this item. And I will go ahead and take action and approve the proposed land capability challenge for this parcel. All right, we will move on to item. This is 5C. Okay. This is the Newfer Land Capability Challenge, 795 Little Bear Lane, El Dorado County, California, APN 033-492-002, TRPA file number LCAP 2024-0259. All right, Julie.
Okay, Julie, roll again. So this land capability challenge was reviewed by our other soils consultant, Phil Scholes, and we also should have him online today. So based on his evaluation of the site, we're recommending to change the land capability from class 3 to class 6. And I have not received any public comment on this one either.
Bill is online if he wishes to contribute.
Okay. This, as Julie's mentioned, we had a challenge that's going from class 3 to class 5. This entire area that's sort of near the Myers area in the Tahoe Basin is an outwash plain, and a lot of that has been labeled as class 3. There's been a number of challenges over the years that all consistently pretty much show that these are better drained soils than what was originally mapped. So we had one pit dug on this residential lot, went down and didn't really hit any root restrictions. If you notice in one of the pictures have the soil profile, we basically sliced right through a highly decayed rock. So that, indicates that it's not sort of a restriction when you have something that can just easily be sort of chopped in half like that. Otherwise, fairly straightforward kind of land capability challenge is a very deep soil. The root penetration was all the way to the very bottom. And what was supposed to have a dense layer, what Marshall had mentioned, something called a fragipan, what was not present in the soil. That wasn't a surprise. And so basically having no limitation to it, it classifies as class 6 in this situation.
Thank you, Phil. Phil, right at the beginning of your comments, you said going from class 3 to class 5. I just wanted to clarify, it's class 6, and is that correct?
You are correct. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something.
A minor detail, but worthwhile.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Julie, is there anyone from the applicant here who might want to contribute something?
Great Park is online.
Yeah, we sent the email to the owner, so if he's not on, then no.
Okay,
You do not
well,
have
yeah, that's fine. I just want to give them an opportunity if they would like. This seems pretty straightforward. And so I will go ahead and open this up for public comment.
If any member of the public wishes to comment on this item, please raise your hand now by clicking on the raised hand button at the bottom of your Zoom screen. There are no hands raised to comment on this item.
Thank you. I will go ahead and close the public comment portion for this item and approve the proposed land capability challenge. And so now we are on our final agenda item. This is the Souza Land Capability Challenge, 7233 Chinkapin Road, El Dorado County, California, APN 014-303-007, TRPA file number LCAP 2024-0274.
This is
Okay.
Julie again. So this project was also reviewed by Phil Scholes. And based on his evaluation, we're recommending changing the lane capability from classes 1A and 3 to class 2 and 4. And I have not received any public comment on this one either.
Thank you.
Right? This was a fairly common situation we've been encountering in the Meeks Bay, Rubicon and Tahoma area, where we have sort of a hillside kind of situation that was formed as a glacial moraine. So it's pretty much a big pile of rocks. And the top layer of the soil ends up being finer soil materials that eroded from above, and they just sort of get stuck down lower on the hillside. And so the upper part of the soil, I think probably the upper 23 inches, is something that is sort of a sandy loam kind of texture with, you know, a moderate amount of rocks. And then below that, you get to a lot of rocks, which is sort of the underlying moraine. This kind of soil is mapped as one that would have this sort of brittle restricting layer deeper in the soil. We have not found that brittle layer in a lot of soils where that soil type is mapped. So, you know, always when we're doing these kind of evaluations, we try to go down at least to 60 inches, sometimes a little bit more, just to make sure that it's not there. We also look for other evidence of perched water or root restriction. And we didn't find either one of those. In other words, we're seeing roots going all the way to the very bottom of the pit and so on. On this particular site, we had slopes that were above 16% for the lower part of the property, and the upper part of the property, they were actually greater than 30%. So it divides us into two classes for land capability. One of them is class 2, which are deep but very steep soils, and then class 4 for 16 to 30% slopes for the lower part of the property.
Thank you, Phil. All right, Julie, is there anyone from the applicant who might like to contribute?
We'll check online
We
and
have-
see.
Abigail.
Abigail's
Edwards.
here.
Okay, great.
That's your timing.
Abby, did you want to comment?
Good afternoon. This is Abby Edwards. I have no comments. We're happy with the results and that's it.
All right, thank you, Abby.
Thanks.
All right, I don't have any additional questions either, so I'll go ahead and open this up for public comment.
Okay, if any member of the public wishes to comment on this item, please raise your hand now by clicking on the raised hand button at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and you will be unmuted to comment. There are no hands raised to comment on this item.
All right, thank you. And then I will close the public comment for this item, and I will take action and approve the proposed land capability challenge. So that completes all of our public hearing items, and our last item on the agenda is adjournment. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marcia.